Hey guys, welcome to the BMWBLOG YouTube channel. Today I'm in Los Angeles with Oliver Heilmer from MINI Design Team, Head of Design Team. And of course we have a very special car to present to you, and that's the MINI Vision Urbanaut. So Oliver, it's your baby. I'm gonna let you kind of take it away. Tell me a little bit more about the car, and then we can do like a Q&A and learn more about it.
Sure. So first of all, the MINI Vision Urbanaut is different. And the reason is that when we started to think about a possible brand's future from a design perspective, we understood that the need of mobility might change in 2030 and beyond. And one strong demand was that younger people, they want to spend much more time in their cars. They want to hang out. They want to chill, they want to spend time with their friends, they want to work. And for that reason, that's what we understood. We said, okay, let's have a look into that area as a possible extension of our current portfolio. And this is the reason why we were thinking about entirely different concept from a MINI perspective. The Vision Urbanaut is invented from inside out, which is from a, let's say, MINI spirit point of view, creative use of space par excellence. You know? So using as much space in the interior as possible. The footprint is still small. It's like 4.46 meters long, which is slightly longer than a MINI Countryman, but the interior is much, much bigger than from a big SUV.
Let me ask you this. So, do you feel like the customers are changing in a way? So the MINI customers are always known for enjoying the driving experience of their cars, right? The go-kart feeling and all of that. But do you feel like there is a change in the industry or in the customers' expectations when it comes to a car, let's say 5-10 years from now? And that's something that you just mentioned, but how will that translate, you know, as far as design? Maybe not necessarily MINI design, but just overall design.
First of all, I believe there is a specific type of customers that will have different demands. And in the same age, we're going to find customers that are thinking, let's say, in a traditional way. They want to have just fun by driving. Means that you have to have an answer from a brand perspective to both of them, which is fantastic because I believe MINI, that's talking about the original icon, has to stay there, has to be developed in a different way. But on the other hand, you might be able to look into a different corner. Okay. From a design perspective, you always should love that what you see, right? You should love to touch it. It should be highly emotional. Not just inside, but as well outside.
I mean, that's the first thing that you see usually when you walk up to a car. You have to see the outside, so before you get inside. Right. Very cool. But also, when it comes to electrification of the brand and all of that, do you feel like it's opening new opportunities for you as a designer? And even technology overall, it's moving so quickly. Yeah. And do you find that exciting that now you can really create maybe not necessarily an iconic MINI, but it opens the opportunities to a car like this one?
So honestly, it's the most exciting time for designers. Because as you mentioned, you know, a change for a designer is like open doors, right? That's what we need, what we're seeking for, right? Yeah. And yes, there is opportunities, and yes, there are differences in terms of constraints, because packages of electrified vehicles are different. Mm-hmm. So it's important to embrace this fact. But in terms of creating variations, with an electrified drivetrain, you can do much more than in the past. This is pretty clear.
Gotcha. Okay, so now if we focus on the MINI Vision Urbanaut, tell me some of the exterior design changes that you're really proud of, right? I mean, there's so many, but something that say, okay, I spent so much time on this one, I'm really proud of this particular feature.
A part of the proportion, I think in the front, what's important to me is that there is this classical shape of our hexagonal grille. Okay. And on the other hand, a really new and modern interpretation of headlights as well as taillights. Mm-hmm. Why? Because you might mention, or you might say that MINI has to have round headlights.
Sure.
Agree.
Yeah.
You can have it. But it's more like you want to have your personal kind of connection to your car,
Oh, yeah.
your digital partner in crime. And therefore, you need to be able to define yourself how the Mini would like to wake up, would like
Yeah.
to say hello.
Yeah.
So it could be entirely different.
Sure.
So it's for us more like a, let's say, a digital canvas, which you will be able to choose by yourself.
Gotcha. So basically, you can extend the Mini personalization, the individualization that you see today to new levels, basically.
Exactly.
Gotcha. And that
And
becomes
this is
kind
not
of
just in exterior.
yeah, and so especially like inside, where you have a lot
Yeah.
more opportunities to change
Right.
materials and all of that versus the overall shape of a car,
Right.
basically. Gotcha. All right. Maybe let's go to the side a little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe you point some of the things there, which I think will be very interesting.
So for sure, you see, Horatio, the proportions.
Yeah.
Okay, it's one box design, pretty clear, but the wheels are in the outer corners of the Urbanaut, which is a typical Mini detail in
Okay.
terms of
Yeah.
iconic proportion.
Element, yeah.
The form language, clean, calm form languages, one shape, one gesture, which is more like an interpretation of that what Mini had in the past, like really simple functional forms,
Yeah.
which became something that you love today, right?
So it's clearly a minimalistic design. And as far as the proportions, I'm assuming you wanted a very large opening here, and this is what the canvas really like allows you to do, right?
True, because as I mentioned, it's all about the interior. It's all about experiencing the space in the interior. We wanted to have the space getting into as big as possible, and for a situation that you are maybe standing next to the sea.
Sure.
You should be able to leave the door open, the sliding door. You should be able to just sit there
Yeah.
using the Urbanaut in an entirely different way. And this is the reason why we were choosing this concept. And it's the only door the Urbanaut has,
Gotcha.
just on that
Just
side.
one door.
Just one door.
And I'm assuming you probably spend a lot of time trying to figure out how to get as much light inside as possible, but at the same time can have a 360 view, because I see there is not much obstruction when it comes to viewing outside from any angle.
Right, right. And this is something as well which you might not find that much today.
Yeah.
You know, most of our cars, they have darkened windows in the back. It's
Yeah.
more like a cave. You don't
Yeah.
see who's sitting in there. And this is something we just wanted to break through.
Okay.
It wasn't the message of the Urbanaut.
Yeah.
The message was like being a part of the environment, being able to see what's outside,
Sure.
and the other way around.
Yeah. What kind of materials they're sustainable that you incorporate into the design? Is it just inside or outside as well? Because the only reason why I'm asking, sustainability is such a huge topic with BMW Group today, and I feel like everything moving forward, or already started, it's going to be like around sustainability and all of that.
Yeah.
And it's hard to achieve the 100%,
Yeah,
ratio,
that's really tough. We do have really a lot of kind of conversations with professionals in terms of doing the next step regarding sustainability. Obviously, exterior perspective, you are able to use recycled aluminum.
Sure.
That's the most important part.
Yeah.
Again, secondly, there's not a lot of elements, additional elements.
Yeah,
So
sprinkling, yeah.
let's do less, then you do have less waste. So
Less,
this is the
yeah.
main principle.
Very cool.
And in the interior,
Should we jump inside and take a look from
Sure, please.
from up close?
take a
Anywhere?
seat wherever you want.
What is the best seat in the house?
This one.
That one? All right. I'll take that one.
Maybe I come to this corner here.
Perfect.
So what you can do is, if you want to sit in a different way, you can just move that,
So that becomes more
and
of a...
then you're able to use the room in a different way.
So in how many ways can you change the interior or the configuration of the interior? Because you mentioned 3 different themes or 4.
Yes. So what we, in general, we are talking about the idea that the Vision Urbanaut is giving you or is supporting you in your moments that you want to kind of experience.
Okay.
In order,
And what would be this moment right now? This would be like more of a lounge type of thing?
so this would be, we would say, like the vibe mode.
The vibe mode,
We're talking to each other.
Okay.
Those modes are just exemplary,
Yeah,
right?
you
There's
can-
one driving mode and 2 modes like chill. You're sitting in there reading maybe a book.
Yeah.
taking a nap, whatever.
Sure.
And the chill is everything is opened, connected to the environment, and spending time in a different way.
Yeah. So you should participate, in a meaningful way with the environment.
Right.
Basically.
And there's not a lot of movement, so this is one movement. If you want to have the space in there, you just can flip this down, that you have just one big surface.
Okay.
The driver's seat is rotatable, is rotating if you want to.
Okay.
And in the front, that's what you see as a day bed, and we call it street balcony, is normally then the dashboard when you're driving.
Yeah.
And that's it, right? And the rest should be in that setup as it is.
Gotcha.
So it's not about having many functional items. It's more like, okay, you're gonna arrange your personal space as you want it.
Sure. So now the $1 million question to end the interview is, what kind of lessons we can take away from this one that we might see in a future Mini? Like, is there something that's reusable? The reason why I'm asking, because usually any vision project, leads to an actual product in the future. But is there something to say, okay, this is a lesson learned that we can apply this in the future?
So there is, it would be interesting, some details you might find in the next generation.
Okay.
I cannot mention which ones.
Okay.
There's some materials we will use in the future generation, so it's actually that material. In general, from a material perspective, I believe there's a lot in there for the future products in terms of, getting rid of chrome in an aesthetic perspective. Talking about design, it's, we're jumping 2 generations ahead with that one. But in general, we try to reduce the amount of elements outside and inside. That's one big hint. And another one is that, especially in interior, we would like to have a little bit more product design rather than a traditional automotive design. Why? Because again, we were looking into the first Mini from Alec Isigonis, and it was product design. It was fantastic. And we see that this is so strong in terms of heritage. We don't want to lose it, right?
Okay, very cool. Well, thank you for your time, Oliver. Always a pleasure. I look forward to seeing some new Mini products, and we can talk about that in the future. Guys, thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon.